Hello everyone, welcome back to Codon's Fiber course. This is our last episode where we will be finalizing our to-do application. If you have followed along till now, you now have a auth middleware as well as routes and controllers to get and post the to-dos. In today's episode, we will make further controllers to delete and update our to-dos. For that, I will start by declaring a function delete to do, which will be a classic fiber function. And with that, I will declare a variable to do ID, which will be our empty vessel to store the extracted params or the extracted ID, which we will get from the route. And if you have followed along since the start of the series, you know that we can make a dynamic route using slash, colon, and a variable. That means this ID is the variable that we will have to search for when we use c.params. And we will also get the user ID from our locals. And now, what we will do is we will convert the ID from string to MongoDB object ID. That can be done using obj ID. This is the variable, and error, which will store if we get any error, which will be the variable which stores if we get any error, and primitive object ID from hex to do ID. So what this line does is when we get the ID from URL from this function right over here, it is a string, but MongoDB does not store ID as strings. It stores them as a special type, which is called object ID. So this line right over here, what this does is takes the string ID, validates it, and converts it into a real MongoDB object ID, which is the only format MongoDB understands when we send the query by underscore ID. If we don't convert it right over here, then MongoDB will never actually find it in the document because we are sending a string and not object ID, and these are very different types. So what this does is takes string and converts it into object ID. That's it. And now we will check that if we have any error or not. And if we do get any error, then we will return it from right over here saying that the given to-do ID is invalid. Now we will actually put a filter to search that the to-do ID given by the user is actually of the user or not. For that, I will declare a filter bson.m object ID and user ID. This is basically we are checking the user ID to see if the ID of the to-do is actually inside the user ID or not. What this will help us do is only delete the to-do with the ID from the particular user and not all the IDs that we have. Then we have result. Then what we will do is declare the result variable, also error, and this will basically go inside our DB collection to-dos, and it will delete the filter. That means it will delete the to-do with the ID inside the user ID. Now we are putting a check that if the function could not delete the given to-do, then it will send us an error that it cannot delete the to-dos. And if it didn't find the ID, then it will return us that the ID or the to-do was not found. And everything goes okay, then it will send us the status okay and give us the message that the to-do has been deleted successfully. Now let's declare another function which will be update to do, and as always it will be a classic fiber function. And here also what we will do is just copy all this and put it right over here. And now we will again declare the type in which we expect from the user, which will be this. Sometimes it's all just this. You don't have to type everything out. You can always copy and paste if you have already done something. If the body sent by the user and body expected by us does not match, then we can always send the error, and the error message will be cannot parse the given JSON. Now here I'll declare another variable update, and it will be bson.m. Bson is basically MongoDB's Bson library, and .m is basically the map function which will help us map the key value pairs. So when we write this over here, we are creating an empty MongoDB's object where we can add field dynamically, and it will be added later on. Now here we will check that if our data.title is not equal to empty string, then we will update our data.title. Similarly, we will do the same for description as well as the status. After this, we'll put another check, which is len update the equal to 0. Then that means if none of the fields are above to be updated, then we will send an error as no fields are there to be updated. Now again, we will put another filter check, as you know, which we also kept in our delete to do function. We'll simply copy that and paste it right over here. And after that, we will declare the similar result variable, which will go inside our to do collections and update one with the given updates. And we will do the similar thing that we have always done. That means check if there are any errors or not, and if the to do is even found or not. That means the filter object ID does even exist in our database or not. And if everything goes all right, we will update our to do. Now we will go inside our to do routes, and we'll declare a to do dot delete, which will be a dynamic route with variable ID, and it will have controllers dot delete to do and to do dot put controllers dot update to do. Now let's start our server using go run server.go. Now that our server has started, let's go to Postman and check everything. Check our routes, that do they even function as we want or not. Okay, I am in my Postman, and as you know that we always have to first log in. As our token has an expiry limit of 24 hours, it might be expired. Now let's actually try to get the to-dos first that we have. Now I'll simply just copy this ID, and as you can see, this is testing endpoints. I'll open another tab, make it a delete, and it will be localhost :3000 / to-do / the ID we just copied. And when sent, this says to do deleted successfully. Now that it has been deleted, let's try again. As you can see, it says to do not found. Let's try to post another to do. Yeah, let's keep it the same. Okay, now let's copy this all. Let's copy all of this. No, let's just copy all of this. Open another tab, which will be this put route. And okay, I am so sorry, we created the same again and again. Let's just copy this first ID, post it over here, go to body raw JSON, and let's paste this, and let's change its status to incomplete. When sent, it says to do updated successfully. Let's go to here, let's send it again, and as you can see, its status is coming as incomplete. That means all our routes work perfectly fine. Let's also log out and see if these two routes implement our middleware or not. Delete route perfectly works, as well as our put route. Okay everyone, and it's a wrap. We have completed our to-do project, if you have made it till here, thank you so much for completing this entire fiber series. I really appreciate your time, consistency, and your dedication. Throughout this series, we learned a lot. We built a full app with CRUD operations, implemented middlewares, explored dynamic routing, and we finally created a complete functional backend using Fiber and MongoDB. But remember that this is our end, not the end of your backend journey. This is just the beginning. There is much more to learn. Things like rate limiting, file handling and uploads, security best practices, role based access, caching, WebSockets, and many more. So keep building, keep experimenting, and keep pushing yourself. This series was just the start of your learning journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you surely and shortly in the next series. Bye bye.